Hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Chaos Tournament semi-final matchup. Oh, the hype is already starting. Alongside Ryu Sation, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we have, obviously, the second of our semi-final matchups. The winner tonight will go on to face Tristal for the Chaos Championship. That will occur sometime next week. We have the 7-seeded Datyedyeguy and the 6-seeded HighSpirits. And, man, this should be a goodie here.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And, I mean, Tristal just blazing through his rounds. Should be, no matter who ends up in the finals with him, it'll definitely be a really hype match to watch for the finals. Plus, we will also have our third-place match, I believe, which will be between Larry and whoever does not make it onto the finals in this match as well.
So that should be a goodie as well. Now, for those new to things here, the object of Dragon Warrior is for our racers to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord. And to get to him, they'll be searching caves and towns for 3 essential items that will help be traded in for the Rainbow Drop, and that will allow them to enter Charlotte Castle, home of the Dragon Lord. They'll also be fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to get stronger, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest. And we're going to go ahead and get things rolling here. The king has given the instructions, and we'll talk a little bit about what's randomized as we go along the way here. But first, we've got in the 3 treasure chests some big bucks. We've got the Death Necklace. That could come into play much later in the seed. And the Magic Key, which will help get them out of the room. Now, no spells for our runners as of yet, although pretty high hit point and magic point totals to start.
Yeah, I have to say that's kind of a surprise seeing such a large MP count to start with no spells.
And 25 experience needed to get to level 2. Now, there's quite a bit going on as far as what's randomized in Dragon Warrior Randomizer. The map, the overworld map is, as well as the treasure chest and search spot contents, town and cave locations, weapon and armor shop contents, the order of spells learned. They're guaranteed to learn all 10 spells by level 16. The enemy locations, as you see a poltergeist on HighSpirits side, as well as the enemy spells and abilities. And for the Chaos Tournament, also randomized are the weapon and armor prices, as well as the enemy statistics. So the strength, agility, hit points, experience, and gold are all randomized, as well as the amount of experience needed to go from one level to the next. And there's also a few added surprises with the Dragon Lord once we get there.
And we have, man, look at the start. We have large amount of desert, which means quick encounters, as desert does have a higher encounter rate. But then we have this huge swamp just to the east and south of the castle.
We've got the first kill for the Datyedyeguy about 1:50 in. That's going to get him a couple levels here.
And he gets heal as his first spell, which that'll actually be very beneficial to him with all this swamp we have for his exploration.
105 and 232, so not even 2 minutes in, and the Datyedyeguy with at least an early advantage in terms of leveling, but that is able to be overcome as both of our runners very, very well versed here. And we see the Armored Knight with Stop Spell.
And HighSpirits taking advantage of resetting when he knows he's going to take a death, as it does save a little bit of time instead of going through the death animation and having to listen to the king scold you.
Now, what our runners are looking for is what has been affectionately known in the tournament here as a wet noodle enemy, as there's one monster in the beginning 3 zones of the game. The zone around Datyedyeguy Castle, as well as the zones directly north, south, east, and west, that's guaranteed to have 5 hit points or less. Now, we'll also not attack very hard, so the less hit points our players lose when a monster attacks, the more likely it is that that is the low hit point monster. Now, the challenge is determining which of those 15 potential monsters it could be.
You know, with all this swamp I'm seeing, I'm wondering if the Datyedyeguy and HighSpirits both elected to go with a big swamp.
I didn't see that in the offset, although I know the Datyedyeguy was discussing it. Nothing officially had been brought our way, though, and OPT Lawyer noting the proverbial wombo combo from the Green Dragon of the Sleep Spell combined with Hurt More.
Yeah, I don't see the big swamp added into the flags for the race, but by the looks of it, you would think it is.
Maybe it's just all conglomerated around the start.
We'll have to see as they get if they actually get to venture further on. Both so far have been stuck here at start. Oh my god, his name. The Datyedyeguy trying to find himself that Axe Knight again, or rather the Knight again, I think. And HighSpirits still looking for his first monster.
Well, it's definitely not going to be the Armored Knight, as it has Hurt More. So already in the early going, 2 enemies with Hurt More.
We do get to see for level 5, there's only 31 experience left to go, so a total of 136 will get you to level 5.
Yeah, 136 the target number, but as we saw, 105 will get you 3 levels up from level 1 to level 4. Now, the early going, it is kind of shaded so that some of the early levels don't take a lot of experience, but once our players start getting rolling, it is entirely possible that you could see the amount of experience to get from one level to the next in the hundreds or even thousands. And I think in one rare case or 1 or 2 rare seeds, we've seen it even be 5 digits to get from one level to the next, over 10,000.
Anything with when chaos comes about, anything is definitely possible. I mean, we've seen just a couple of experience. We've seen even less than 2,000 get you all the way to level 16. But then we've also seen over 20,000 experience required before you can even hit 17.
We've seen HighSpirits take out a Knight, and he is going to get those 3 levels. So about a 4-minute differential between the two. But now the Knight running away from HighSpirits. As the Datyedyeguy continuing to chip away at a Droll Magi. And he takes out the Droll Magi for 61 and 11.
Well, that'll be enough to get him another level at least. But man, the amount of work it took to get that level, I don't think Droll Magi's will be our target monster at any point in this run.
Yeah, more than likely not, as HighSpirits is going to make his way back to the King to save, to reset up those reset strats, to avoid the lecture from the King every time you pass. And the Datyedyeguy finding another Knight. Now, can he chip away at it before it runs away, as now with these higher levels, the Knights are more apt to run away, and there I am with the commentator's curse.
And just as you say that, he does run away. HighSpirits, however, being able to keep a hold of his gold. So if he can find himself a town, he'll be able to possibly purchase some gear early on here. But so far, no towns have been anywhere in sight. Oh, and speak of the devil.
And there's the commentator's credit on Reusation's part, and we have Breckenary. Good old 6 town. It is one of the lesser, among many of the runners, it's the lesser popular towns, as it usually doesn't provide a whole lot of value apart from the inn, which provides 6 gold, which is only, you can utilize it for 6 gold, I should say. And HighSpirits purchasing a full plate armor, which is the 3rd best armor in the game, and the hand axe.
Definitely a nice boon for him, finding Breckenary and getting armor and a weapon. No shields have been spotted yet. And definitely a reasonably priced hand axe and full plate. Nothing else too much of value in there that was quite high priced as well. And of course, stocking up on the herbs. May as well, while you have the gold, get you a full stock of herbs, just in case either A, you run out of heals. He does also purchase him a Dragon Scale, which will get him an extra 2 defense power. And then herbs, of course, do come in handy later when you're trying to save your heals for being able to face the Dragon Lord.
So all in all, not too shabby for HighSpirits, as the hand axe, normally valued at 560 gold in the vanilla version of the game, a whopping 2 gold.
And looks like nothing else northeast of the castle, so we're going to have to make a trek south through that swamp if we're going to want to locate anything else, it seems.
Perhaps, and now HighSpirits, you can see the difference already, hitting a Droll Magi for 5 and then 8 at a time, able to two-shot it, and that's going to get him up to level 5.
I think we'll see HS try and get a couple of more levels in if he can before he does too much exploration. The MP count is not very high right now. Even with having heal, don't get too many of those before you're out with all this swamp.
And you can see the difference, at least just with the Droll Magi, as the Datyedyeguy having to attack again and again and again to try to take it out, and finally does for 61. That's going to get him to level 6.
Yeah, these knights not taking too much damage, even with having that hand axe, still only doing 1 or none at times as well.
And knights running away in stereo.
It looks like we might see the Datyedyeguy make his way to Breckenary here, and he'll be able to pick up that hand axe at least. I don't think he'll have enough for the full plate, though.
And the Datyedyeguy quickly putting on a heal because you don't know what you're going to necessarily run into.
Well, Spectre's not able to hit for too much, but he can damage the Spectres now, so we'll see what these guys give, possibly. Spectres are a little bit beefy, though, with a fairly high HP count, it seems.
Oh, and a wolf sending the Datyedyeguy back to the castle at the cost of half of his gold. And the Armored Knights, not giving a whole lot in terms of experience, 47, but it certainly has its share of problems that it causes, including having the Hurt More spell.
And HighSpirits still just plugging away at this Spectre. I think we're pretty close to about 60 damage so far, at least.
But the Datyedyeguy has realized that, okay, if I can one-shot it, all right, why not?
Oh, and he does get it down, but only for 19 experience, so we won't be seeing too much of those Spectres. Oh, we do see
I really wants that wolf.
and we do see level 6 did get stop spell.
But the wolf wants it a little bit more and sends the Datyedyeguy back to Datyedyeguy Castle.
And not too bad, 92 experience to our next level, so that's only 433 in total to hit level 7. So far, these earlier levels being a little bit kinder.
I said, doing a quick math check on that. I think it's actually 413.
Oh, you're correct, 413. My apologies.
And the Datyedyeguy just struggling to get away from the wolves, able to do so there, though. Meanwhile, HighSpirits plugging away at the Poltergeist.
He's determined to win this slap fight here.
Oh, but the Poltergeist hits HighSpirits for 2, and that's going to send him back to the castle.
Poltergeist will win that slap fight, it seems.
Slaps just a little bit harder.
Only 10 left for level 6 for HighSpirits, though. So level 6 wasn't too far off from level 5 then.
Now, only about a 59 experience differential between level 5 and level 6. But HighSpirits surpassing that, so he was able to get within 10, and is now able to surpass that and then some with the Droll Magi here.
Yeah, that hand axe doing some work for him there, being able to take out those droll mandates rather quickly. Meanwhile, the Datyedyeguy seems to be searching for those knights again, as those have been the one reliable kill he's been able to find so far.
Well, knights and the armored knights, as he's able to one-shot those just to chip away and get 47 at a time, and that's going to get him to level 7.
Yeah, always nice when you can take those armored knights down.
Wow,
As typically, they will beat you down pretty quickly.
So heal more acquired, as well as hurt and outside, and a hard-hitting ghost.
Quite possible we might see those ghosts again a little bit later in Sharlock. We do get our first cave spotting by HighSpirits, along with a metal slime. We'll see if they're more vanilla or if they're going to be a bit tougher. So far, physical damage, not much, though.
And able to get hurt for quite a little bit.
Yeah, not quite as high defense as their vanilla counterparts either. The Datyedyeguy also spotting that cave, so we'll get to see what our first cave is here in just a moment.
An excellent move on the Datyedyegu's part, better known to most as a critical hit or crit. But still not able to take down the Spectre.
He seems pretty content to trying to work down on this Spectre, see what it gives. Unfortunately, he'll be a little disappointed with what it gets. And we'll see if the same can be true for HighSpirits with this Metal Slime, if he can manage to take it down.
Both in respective slugfests, and 5 experience and 47 gold.
Oh, but he spots a town just past that cave as well, so he'll go take a quick look there before he goes into the cave.
And he finds Hawk's Nest and walks right back out of Hawk's Nest. Hawk's Nest is a town with enemy encounters, and the cave that he finds is the Rainbow Drop Cave, more affectionately known as the Jerk Cave, as HighSpirits finding a town to the northeast corridor. And wow, a red slime is going to send him back to the castle before he explores that town.
Oh yeah, those red slimes just wailing on him. But having the Jerk Cave be spotted along with Hawk's Nest, both good things to know where are, as Hawk's Nest can contain one of the 3 searchable item spots, which can either be the Fairy's Flute, the Token, Erdrick's Armor, or it could be nothing.
HighSpirits taking out an Armored Knight. Still has a little way to go, though, to get to level 7, and the Wraith Knights also hit hard.
Yeah, that Wraith Knight not allowing the Datyedyeguy to go see who the boss monster was going to be over there.
Oh, and a very short jump from level 7 to level 8, just a 15 experience jump. So for the Datyedyeguy, it's only 13 for him, and HighSpirits has found Cantlin, the proverbial shopping mall of Alifgard.
And a decently cheap flame sword for only 12. Was that 1254?
Yeah, 1254. And if he wanted to, he could have upgraded to a broadsword for just 90 gold. HighSpirits opting against it, though. The Datyedyeguy, meanwhile, still trying to find a town and just sees it on the eastern edge, but has that dreaded wolf to deal with.
And he does opt to go ahead and grab the broadsword, which gives him a little bit more damage over that hand axe. So the Datyedyeguy will be picking up at least the hand axe. I don't think he'll have enough for that full plate. Yeah, at 440,
just one
just
gold
a little
short.
way. Now he does have that death necklace, so he could choose to sell that, which HighSpirits also has that option to have sold the death necklace and picked up the flame sword. But it seems he's going to hold on to that for a little bit longer at least.
Well, theoretically, he could just head on out of town here, smash an enemy, hoping that it's the right enemy, and be able to go back in and purchase said full plate armor.
Well, not with finding that
the
wolf.
wolf is not one of those enemies.
Oh.
Where is it?
Well, it does die to 1 hurt and will be enough to get him his next level and enough gold to purchase that full plate.
Oh, the tie-dye guy making a liar out of me.
And Blue Slime's not being a beast for once. Doesn't do too much, only casting Hurt and then runs away quickly.
And to answer the question in chat for JRM 5035, the Death Necklace has an interesting act in this particular form of the game of Dragon Warrior Randomizer. In the vanilla game, it's just an item that curses you and means that once you go back to the castle, you get kicked out immediately and are banned from entry. But in this, again, once you don it, I should say, when you put on the necklace in this version of the game, there was a little tweak that was added to it in that it adds 10 attack power to your total, but at the cost of 25% of your max hit points. So it's one of those high-risk, high-reward type things, especially later on. But with Brecconary being fairly easily accessible, it certainly could come into play, but our racers will have to have high enough hit points to get to that point.
And we have a fairly hard-hitting Drakey sending HS home before he gets the chance to go take a look at the cave he spotted just a little northeast of where he was.
And the tie-dye guy realizing that he can hurt those wolves and is able to go up yet another level.
No speed that level, and only 1 MP gain.
I blinked and missed him getting to level 9, and already the tie-dye guy up to level 10.
His level 9 was, I think that was off the first wolf he killed before he went into Brecconary, as HighSpirits does make his way to level 7 now.
Make that level 8. He's going to get 2 on that.
Right, level 8 with that one. So he'll be happy to see that heal more along with a plethora of other spells.
Ooh, and the wolf sending the tie-dye guy back.
Ooh, and those knights are resistant to hurt. So fairly high defense on the knights, so you can't just whack at them. But also high resistance to hurt, so you can't just hurt them down either.
Yeah, the experience to get it to level 10, I mean, only roughly 500 total experience. Not too shabby.
And HS not far behind him either. He's right on his heels as they're both going at a Poltergeist.
And he's going to go after the Green Dragon and gets the stop spell on him, so the spells of Sleep and Hurt More not going to take effect onto HighSpirits. So as long as he just keeps casting those spells, HighSpirits can just whack away, and we'll see what the Green Dragon brings to the table in terms of experience and gold.
Ooh, we have our first Wolf Lord, I believe, on the tie-dye guy's side, which has Baby's Breath, and HighSpirits does get his Green Dragon down with that stop spell strat. Not too much on experience, but it will be enough to get him up to level 10, and he is now tied with the tie-dye guy, just 4 experience ahead.
Ooh, 139 and 58 for the Wolf Lord.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Our most fruitful monster ahead of the Knight in terms of experience.
Little dangerous monster, though, with having that Baby's Breath.
Yeah, that fire usually doing give or take around 20 hit points of damage. And HighSpirits finding out the damage the Wolf Lord can do.
Yep. And it does seem he wants to stick around and give a go at it, which he can definitely take it down. He has, with having that broadsword.
And just like that, the tie-dye got jumping from level 10 to level 12.
And I didn't see a spell check, so we might have to wait a little bit before we see if he got anything. And a Kaishin no Ichigeki will take down the Wolf Lord for HS.
And the tie-dye guy going to upgrade to the broadsword. As stated, the Kaishin no Ichigeki, that is the Japanese equivalent of the excellent move or critical hit. And ETAP in chat, yes, the 139 experience for the Wolf Lord is the most that we have seen from an enemy thus far, as the experience is randomized for all the different enemies. It can be as low as 4 experience and as high as 255.
We see our first Druid Lord, who only hits for 1, only receives 1 hit, but is thankfully able to be hurt by hurt.
That means it has fairly high agility to be able to withstand the damage that our runners are providing, even here in the double-digit levels.
Ooh, when you see our first Axe Knight, which will wallop the Datyedyeguy, but he does manage to get away. Oh, and he has hurt more now, as he quickly tries to cast Heal More, not realizing he got hurt more within that last 2 levels.
That's a dubious way of having a spell check.
And he goes right to work trying to cast it on the Red Dragon, also known as the Fun Police, but did not have an effect. Thankfully, our Fun Police not doing too much damage this time around.
After all that issue with HighSpirits and that Druid Lord, it ends up running away. Go figure.
And we get our first Magidracky, who has hurt more. Ouch. And is resistant to stop spell, so that will be sending him back home to the sin bin. We see only 27 more to go to get to the level 11, and 12 wasn't far behind it.
HighSpirits one-shotting a wolf and is just 1 experience away from level 11.
And this Armor Knight will give it for him. Which, that'll definitely give him access to having hurt more, as I believe that had to have come on at level 11, since level 12 did not announce a new spell. And it gives him level 12 as well.
And gets Datyedyeguy to level 13, and wow, those statistics. Did I see 31 MP gain?
I believe you did, and so far level 13, 97 HP and 97 MP, so not a bad way to go. That does give them enough HP to survive 2 Dragon Lord breaths, and HighSpirits making a beeline for that Hawk's Nest with having hurt more and heal more. He does have a really good chance at taking on the boss and finding out what our item is here, if there is an item.
But the Wraith Knight that has already proven troublesome in the way, but he is able to take a hurt more. And 100 experience and 86 gold. And the Scorpion, with Dragon Lord Breath.
Oh, that is a nasty Guardian, but it runs away.
And he gets Erdrick's token from it.
Scorpions with Dragon Lord 2 breath, but runs away. What a Guardian.
So Erdrick's token is one of the essential items needed in the game to get that rainbow drop to cross over into the Dragon Lord's lair known as Charlotte Castle.
And we have HighSpirits taking down a blue slime for a 110 experience, which will get him to his next level. There was a 0 HP gain with that 31 MP, as the Datyedyeguy has found Rimuldur and will be picking up his keys.
Yeah, Rimuldur, the town that provides pretty much the only free access to purchasing magic keys that can unlock, literally and figuratively, a bunch of different areas to find different treasures in the land, including one right in the town of Rimuldur, which the Datyedyeguy is making a beeline for now. And it brings us a torch.
Ah, the old 2 keys for a torch.
And to answer the question in chat, I believe that's Captain Uhu who made the Drogon Lord.
Yes, that is correct. And Silver Shield for 8,604. It's still a discount off its vanilla 14,800, but still pretty hefty price tag.
Only about just under a 42% discount. It's okay, but it's still kind of pricey.
Yeah, unless we see a reliable gold grind, as we don't know what's in the treasury yet, although I have a feeling that next time the Datyedyeguy hits Tanagal, he'll definitely give it a check.
Oh, wow. And HighSpirits, he's going to be hitting Tanagal a little earlier than intended, thanks to a skeleton that hit 2 shots of Dragon Lord Breath that does damage anywhere between 64 and 72 hit points of damage. And we see the Drakeemas have sleep.
Going down not too difficultly with Hurtmore, though, and does give 86 experience. Actually, it looked like 2 Hurtmores, I think, will do it, as it puts him to sleep and runs away. We'll get a look at what the cave that HighSpirits saw from the Datyedyeguy, see what we have over here, and looks like North Swamp.
Swamp Cave North, which has the princess for rescuing somewhere down the road, and that is something the Datyedyeguy could consider, since he has a magic key to which the princess is locked behind. But it also transitions over to someplace else in the world. It could come up in the back of Tanagal Castle, it could be the back of Garenham, or it could be another spot in the land that leads to another cave.
Speaking of which, we have Bonus Cave. I'm a little surprised he didn't go ahead and decide to check at least what the guardian of the princess was, as we have seen Cantlin, but we don't know what those coordinates are, and Bonus Cave just holds some big bucks.
Yeah, Bonus Cave, also known in the standard version of the game as the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave. That's where you would find these Stones of Sunlight. It's normally located in the basement of Tanagal Castle, but it's just a free access to a treasure chest. And the Datyedyeguy finding out the horrors that are the skeleton. And he's going to head back now, thanks to 2 DL2 breaths.
Meanwhile, HighSpirits does hit level 14, and we see a 14 power increase, along with 15 more HP. But we will get to see what's in the basement of Tanagal, along with the treasury here, as the Datyedyeguy has made his way back to it thanks to that skeleton.
So let's see. In the treasury, we have an herb. We've got a magic key. We've got the wings, which works like the return spell, and we've got the dragon scale.
Speaking of dragons, a blue dragon sending HighSpirits back with quite a hefty wallop, hitting for over 30 damage each time.
Oh, wow. It's going to be a little while to level 16.
So green dragons and red dragons not being too difficult, but the blue dragons definitely going to be the beastly dragon of this seed.
And inside Tanagal Basement, we have the Staff of Rain Cave. Our runners are going to be looking around for the Silver Harp, and they will be trading that in to the gentleman on the Datyedyeguy screen for the Staff of Rain, which is sitting in that treasure chest.
Yeah, so Staff of Rain and the Rainbow Drop Cave not being far at all to find.
The challenge is finding those respective items, as now the Datyedyeguy is going to go up to 14. Make it 15. It's only about a minute and a half apart as far as getting to level 15.
And the Datyedyeguy finding those hard-hitting Drakees.
81 and 99 on the totals for that.
Thankfully, a Hurtmore does take it down rather quickly. Oh, we have Scorpions in the overworld. Did not breathe on him yet.
And it ran away. So once the Datyedyeguy goes to Hawk's Nest, which, as soon as I say that, he enters it, he'll be glad to know that that's what's there.
Yeah, we'll see if he does get to find out the horrors of the Dragon Lord 2 breath before it does run away.
Well, Slime's starting to run away now. Nope. Isn't able to see it, and he searches and he gets the token.
And Scorpion's like, oh man, you have hurt more? I'm out of here.
About a 7-minute differential between the two.
And he is going to see if he can try and grind on these Scorpions, but yeah, again, sees the hurt more and says, nope, I'm gone. Meanwhile, HighSpirits finding a magician who has baby's breath and does not take kindly to a hurt more.
Oh,
And
Sleep and Dragon Lord breath for the Scorpions, and I think that's the last time he's going to be messing with those.
yeah, he does get to find out the hard way that the Scorpions did have Dragon Lord 2 breath.
But HighSpirits didn't find out about Sleep, I noticed. Now, HighSpirits did pick up on the Wizards that look to be our most generous experience enemy thus far, giving 199 experience. And just that quickly is only about 500 or so away from level 16. And he's going to try to hurt more, and it doesn't quite have the effect that it has on the Axe Knight in the vanilla game, and that's going to be enough for that for HighSpirits. So make sure to check out the challenge website for the standings of the Chaos Tournament, although we're here in the semifinals, so you can kind of see how things led up to the point that we're at pretty much, as the winner of this race tonight will take on Tristal in the finals at some point next week. Also, you can download the randomizer for Dragon Warrior with the link there, and you can also join the Discord to get involved with races and other things of that nature with the fine folks that are part of the community, and fine indeed they are.
We have our first Sharlock spotting by HighSpirits along with Cole. So we'll get to see if either the flutes, the armor, or nothing is here.
And it's the Fairy Flute in its vanilla spot. Is this even randomized?
And he gets his first look at the Silver Shield price, as he has not found Remulder yet.
So what that means by default is that Erdrick's armor is going to be in the overworld search spot.
And that is both good and bad information for him. Knowing at least where he has to search for it is good, but not having access to do so as he doesn't have keys yet is bad information for him.
So that is an advantage that the Datyedyeguy does have.
And there goes that advantage as Datyedyeguy finds himself Cole and Sharlock as well.
Ooh, Wraith's giving 193 and 95.
Yeah, those Wraiths are going to be our top monsters so far, experience-wise. We haven't had anything to hit for over 200 on experience yet.
No, closest we found was the Wizard at a 199.
You are correct. Wizards were actually quite giving on experience as well, as HighSpirits has found himself the Grave. So he may find his Stones of Sunlight along with the Silver Harp here, and possibly could even find Erdrick's Sword, as we're still searching for that as well.
Yes, Erdrick's Sword, the strongest weapon in the game, giving 40 attack power to your base strength.
And Star Wyvern's going down rather quickly, but only 11 experience, but 250 gold, and that'll be, I think, the max we'll see on gold.
Or as close to it, unless there's one that happens to give somewhere between 251 and 255.
And speaking of Erdrick's Sword, the big stick has been found by HighSpirits in the top 3 chests of Grave. As he quickly casts outside, doesn't want to go ahead and dig those last 2 slots, as he does still have Garrenham and Mountain Cave to search.
Well, not only that, but he still needs keys.
Oh, that's true. He couldn't even go to the lower 2 chests as he doesn't have keys yet. He will be our first to hit level 16, though. And not a bad level. Relatively decent stats at 8 and 6 for most of them. And Datyedyeguy will be finding his Erdrick sword as well now. So far, both of our runners have found each of the items not long behind the other.
Yeah, only give or take a little less than a minute between when HighSpirits found Erdrick's sword and when Datyedyeguy found it.
And Datyedyeguy wasn't too far behind HighSpirits in finding that fairy flute either.
Although from what I saw, he passed up the fairy flute.
Oh, you're right. He chose not to pick it up. We haven't seen golems yet, and those golems could be... they could be rather ugly. As he finds those blue dragons are rather ugly as well, and HighSpirits gets himself a new level, and wow, 15 attack and 19 speed for 17.
138, well, 66 on the defense, but he already could put a walloping on the Dragon Lord pretty early on here. At least a pretty decent one.
Oh yeah, I got a good look at his stats, and HighSpirits is pretty much at Dragon Lord stats, depending on what Dragon Lord 2 has. So he could choose to just repel his way around while he searches for those remaining items, and I believe that is going to be Remolder there for him, so he'll get his keys.
And now offense, pretty much nothing to worry about for HighSpirits, as he's able to slash down a wyvern. Not that it's very beneficial.
I'd be surprised if we don't see a return from HighSpirits, so he can go to the castle, grab those treasury chests, and then head over to Cantlin and check the coordinates out, as Datyedyeguy is doing exactly that. So we'll see what our coordinates are going to be here. Although he may go ahead and check out that cave just north of Remolder as well, before returning back to the castle.
So the coordinates, we've got 8 north and 73 east.
Wow, the 8 north, not a problem, but 73 to the east. Yeah, I think we'll be seeing our Gwaelin positioning system or the Princess Rescue in this one.
Yeah, that is an arduous task to count out. Especially if there's any kind of windiness to that 73 east. Or it could very well possibly be on the other continent. That's another possibility. So that makes the likelihood pretty likely as far as having to rescue the princess.
And Blue Dragon's actually going down to 1 hit from HighSpirits now, giving 109 experience, so not too bad. I think we'll be seeing Datyedyeguy head right back for the cave and go pick up his princess.
Well, HighSpirits is in the cave.
It looks like he's electing not to go see the princess. And there's those golems that I was talking about, and they do have quite a bit of HP and hit you for quite a bit as well.
But he 2 shots it for 43 and 116. And he's going to go to the other side, and he's going to find the Stones of Sunlight Cave. Going to pick up some money.
He could choose to do a by going back in and out of the cave and picking up gold, if he really wants that silver shield. Looks like he chooses not to, and we didn't see gold in the Tantegel Treasury, so we won't be seeing at least not an easy gold grind anyway. And he will hit level 18 now. No attack power, but a little bit more HP and a little more MP.
Every little bit helps, and oh, there's that skeleton with the Dragon Lord breath.
Now, something he does have the option of doing, as Garen's Grave wasn't too far away from Cole, is he could see if he could sell the Erdrick sword by purchasing another weapon.
From what I saw in chat, apparently they did attempt that, and I think it only gave about 200 some odd gold, so not quite worth it.
Okay, I must have missed that then. Meanwhile, it looks like the Datyedyeguy is going back into the grave, or back into the swamp cave, and will be heading up, well, I should say heading down in this case, to the princess.
Yes, Redenium, for you just joining us in chat here. The level's coming pretty quick here, as it looks like HighSpirits is going to get another one here. And is going to go to level 19 with not even needing 3,300 experience.
And if he can locate his silver harp and those stones rather quickly, along with getting the armor picked up, he does have the ability to easily go to Dragonlord at this point with all these stat gains he's gotten. Meanwhile, the Datyedyeguy, trifling with a ghost over here, does manage to get it taken down, though. And that was the guardian for the princess, as HighSpirits finds himself yet another cave and, almost puts on the death necklace.
And HighSpirits finding the tablet cave. No enemy encounters, and just a little bit of a winding road to get to a free treasure chest.
And the good news is they do have outside, so he'll be able to just quickly exit out of there. As seen by the Datyedyeguy, exiting and heading straight back to the castle to return his princess.
And it's the fairy water.
That's always rough, doing that trek for not much value. I'm assuming HighSpirits must be searching around for that mountain cave, expecting it to have his harp. The harp and the stones.
Well, at this point, there are 10 treasure chests that have not been opened. The 3 inside the town of Garenham, the 2 deep in Garen's Grave, and the 5 that are in the mountain cave. So 2 of those 5 chests are going to be some of our essential items, the silver harp and the stones of sunlight.
And we do find Garenham, which has 3 chests to be found in it, along, 13,000 plus gold magic armor. And by elimination, I believe this means the cave here is going to have to be Mountain Cave as well.
So there's access to 8 of those 10 chests.
And
search for the treasure box.
He's finding out that is indeed a box. Could go for a gold grind here with
key,
2
money,
gold
and money.
chests. Yeah, 2 gold chests and a magic key. That would be a really nice gold grind to be able to get the silver shield picked up.
And this indeed is the mountain cave.
And we do have the Datyedyeguy taking down his red dragon, finding out it doesn't give a whole lot, though.
So lots of gold in the Garenham area so far. So that might perhaps be a way to go.
I mean, he's only about 3,000 gold away. That would just be 3 trips back into Garenham to pick up those 2 chests, and he's got it.
Well, unless he... well... Alright, he is able to deal with this blue dragon.
Yeah, he did find out he could one-shot him previously, but that one not being such an easy one to take out. We have what I can only assume must have been an herb in that chest, and then also it could also have been a key. I think he's at max keys right now as well, but it finds another cursed belt as well. And Datyedyeguy finding out that the wizards do give that 199 experience and will be enough to get him to level 16. Or
I think he was just
maybe,
taking note of it.
yeah, I think, I was going to say, that little pause there made me think he had hit that level.
Now, he is about 200 experience away.
Speaking of levels, though, HighSpirits will hit level 20 now with, wow, another 7 power, 8 speed. And there's our harp.
Silver harp.
And Datyedyeguy making great use of the princess. Looks like it might be on this continent if he's able to go far enough east.
HighSpirits getting that last chest, and it is the Stones of Sunlight. So that is going to give a huge lead here to HighSpirits. So now he can head back to Tanagal. He's going to go on into the treasury here, as the Datyedyeguy just a few steps away from finding the Erdrick's armor. And HighSpirits presumably going to go into the back of the castle and is going to pick up the Staff of Rain by trading in the Silver Harp. Meanwhile, utilizing Gwaelin's love, he is just one step away. He just needs to go... Oh, he went 8 south instead. Oh, that's why.
I was going to say, he can't be just one step away. He doesn't have that option.
He went 8 south instead of 8 north, and... he's now 7 and 72, so 1 up, 1 to the right.
And there he goes. There's his Erdrick's armor found. So now the swamp will no longer damage him. Along with a couple other little abilities. Dragonlord Breath, along with Baby Breath, is cut down by, was it 1/3, I believe?
That is correct.
And then also the Hurt More and Hurt damage also is cut down, along with being resistant to Stop Spell, but not Sleep, unfortunately. And HighSpirits will find his coordinates, and I can only assume will be going and rescuing his princess rather soon after that. Possibly picking up his rainbow drop before he does that, as we did see the cave. Or maybe he's just going to try and give it a count.
No, I think he is beelining in a different direction, perhaps for that cave, for perhaps for the swamp cave to get the princess. Either that or that is lightning fast counting on HighSpirits' part.
And it seems an odd choice to return out of Cantlin, since he, that did put him a few steps behind. Perhaps meant to outside instead of return. Meanwhile, Datyedyeguy going back to the swamp cave, as I believe they've explored everything there is to see here so far. So he will need to go and find those other locations on the other continent, which will be Garenham along with the mountain cave.
Yeah, he is definitely going at a pretty rapid pace. I thought maybe it was to the cave, but HighSpirits just slashing at things as he goes away here, or heads eastward. Now, HighSpirits quickly jumping out to almost a double experience lead on the Datyedyeguy. And it looks like he is going to stay at the inn at Rimeldar.
Not too bad an idea. He did use quite a bit of it. He did use quite a bit of an MP on his way over there.
Oh, yep. Okay, there's the trip to the cave. Dashing from a couple of golems. Dealing with the ghost. So at this point, HighSpirits just looking for the coordinates to get Erdrick's armor. And the Datyedyeguy, he's looking for Garenham and the cave, and this is going to get him to level 17.
As we know, the next 3 levels, well, they're a little ways away.
Not that quick for the Datyedyeguy. He still has about give or take another 350 to 400 experience to get to level 18. And yeah, as Sukiya noting in chat, HighSpirits, just by slashing away at the enemies, is just a mere 1,325 gold away from getting the silver shield, should he so choose.
And he is actually at the ideal health count for using that death necklace. Since he did hold on to it, we might actually see that used for a little extra damage on the Dragon Lord fight.
And noting in chat, Rose Cavalier, there have been some discussions in future versions of not so much about the Peach sprite, but as JRM noting, possible Zelda comparisons in terms of sprites and other things. But one of the interesting notes, if you play as Princess Gwaelin, as far as the sprite, then when you go to rescue who would be inside the cave, it would actually be Prince Guimond. And part of the programming issues with that is that from what I've heard from McGrew, the creator of the game, is that the character who is in the cave has to have 7 letters in their name. So a Zelda or a Peach or something like that would be a bit challenging, as they only have 5 letters to their name. So there's a few creative things to make that work that I'm sure you'll see in future versions of Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
While it may only be a couple of characters difference, it does still add up to where those couple of characters difference can save you a little extra time over the course of a run. And the Datyedyeguy does find himself the fairy water.
Waluigi as Gwaelin would be rather hysterical, and yes, Waluigi is 7 characters, so who knows? There are definitely ideas and thoughts out there.
Well, if we were to go with Waluigi, does that mean we could do a Wow Thou Must?
I certainly hope not.
And HighSpirits does get his armor finally, so I'm assuming he will be going back to getting his rainbow drop and then making a quick beeline for Sharlock.
Yeah, HighSpirits getting the armor about 7 minutes after the Datyedyeguy did. But the difference being, well, that HighSpirits also has the Stones of Sunlight as well as the Silver Harp, has already traded the Silver Harp in for the Staff of Rain. And is back in Cantlin trying to shot for that Silver Shield, which compared to the small shield that they have, it gives them an additional 16 defense points. And he's going to realize he knew it was 8,000 something, so he is still 500 and about 504 gold short.
And unfortunately, that shield was not in Cantlin, unless it was in the shop locked behind the door, which I don't think anybody has checked. Meanwhile, the Datyedyeguy does make it into the mountain cave, so he'll be finding his Silver Harp and his Stones of Sunlight not too long from now.
Or HighSpirits could just slash at a couple of Star Wyverns as they give 250 apiece.
And there was a Silver Shield in Cole, so if he does get a couple of kills along his way to there, since Cole was right next to Sharlock, he could definitely pick it up there. Meanwhile, I think the Datyedyeguy is going to go ahead and go for the gold grind here.
Well, not with that old man in the way, he isn't.
And now the old man is saying, no, you no take key.
Oh, that is what he looks to be doing. He's just going back into Garenham, utilizing the free key that he gets and taking the 2 gold chests.
That's not a bad way to go about it. I mean, it's 1,000 gold at least each time you go in there.
And HighSpirits coming to the unfortunate realization that he is 150 gold shy of purchasing the Silver Shield. Now 170 after using the inn. So yeah, this looks to be an intended early Garenham exit.
One more of those wraiths will do it for the gold count he needs. And then he can make his merry way to Sharlock. Although I may have missed him picking up the rainbow drop. I don't see it on the tracker look for him, though.
I thought he had gotten it about 10 minutes ago, but we'll find out if he goes to step up to Sharlock and is able to utilize it. Because I thought I saw it around the 51-minute mark, but that was not too far after he had gotten the Staff of Rain, because we did mention how close they were. Ooh, and the red slime almost taking out HighSpirits. That would have cost him half of his gold. Meanwhile, the Datyedyeguy, it looks like just picking up that Silver Shield.
And that will be enough gold for him to go ahead and get his Silver Shield as well. And then we'll see if he does go straight for Sharlock. That'll mean he does have that drop. Although I think he'll take a quick in before he goes, just to recover everything and maybe put on a quick repel as well.
Wow, attack power of 148. So that means when he gets to the second form of the Dragon Lord, that'll be an attack range of 12 to 24 hit points per strike. So HighSpirits is in go mode, and he does have the rainbow drop. He did pick that up about 11 minutes ago. And is going to be the first to enter Sharlock Castle here at the 63-minute mark.
And we do see the skeletons are in Sharlock. No surprise there with having the Dragon Lord breath and not being too friendly either. Typically the way the Sharlock enemy pool works, if I understand it correctly, is every enemy is given a value based on their stats and what they have, such as Hurt More, Sleep, Dragon Lord breath. And the higher value enemies are what's going to be located in Sharlock, such as this Warlock, which we haven't seen anywhere else so far, but he is able to easily run away from these guys so far.
Now, I mentioned earlier in the seed that, or near the beginning of this of our race here, that as Datyedyeguy gets up another level here, and is not too far away from getting the remainder of the items. Now, that was a bit interesting as he threw away a cursed belt to obtain a cursed belt.
Well, that one was better. It was fresher.
They're both whammies to me. What can I say? Well, HighSpirits running into some issues with the skeletons. Going to have to burn a heal more.
And the next floor down, not being so kind to run away from those skeletons, and was not able to sleep them either. Actually having to burn 2 heal mores here now.
So this may quickly turn into an informational dive. As now the Datyedyeguy going up to level 19. As the skeleton just spamming that Dragon Lord breath.
And he is now down to less than 10 heal more, so this may actually have to be an informational run. Not being able to sleep it, not being able to do too much to it at all here.
The Datyedyeguy picking up the Stones of Sunlight. He's going to cast outside. And HighSpirits is going to take a death.
He does finally decide to take a whack at it and does deal 33 damage to it. So that may be the tactic that's going to have to be taken there, is just hitting the skeleton and taking it out. So he can't just continuously hurt, or not hurt more you, but Dragon Lord breath you.
And as he's gone along, only 727 experience away from level 21, although, I mean, how much more power do you need in this case?
Question in chat from Sukiya. The limit to the failed runs is only in the Dragon Quest version, not in the Dragon Warrior version.
And the Datyedyeguy going to pick up the Staff of Rain. And Dataplet, the attack power for HighSpirits at the moment is 148. The Datyedyeguy, meanwhile, going to make his way down to the... yes, he does have the OPT lure. He does have the Silver Harp. He is making his way to the Rainbow Drop Cave to acquire that. And don't worry, he only picked up the Silver Harp only about... Oh, goodness, about 4 minutes ago.
Well, we have HighSpirits making his second attempt into Sharlock. Now, we do know the first floor is rather kind to ones, letting him run away from things. But I believe the first floor is the only one that does not have that run penalty. Once you get below the first floor,
it gets harder and harder to run away from the enemies, especially when they're problematic like the skeleton has been. And the Datyedyeguy is going to pick up the Rainbow Drop. About a 16-minute differential between when HighSpirits picked it up and when the Datyedyeguy did. And now here comes the Skeleton Fire Breath.
Han, the skeleton dodging his attacks as well. Oh, it is susceptible to hurt more at least, so that will bring it down. And wow, that 227.
227 experience. The most generous one yet, but man, at what cost?
Oh, and thankfully he does actually know how to just regular attack and doesn't do too much.
Yeah, low double digits. 12, 13. But then it goes back to breathing fire and does anywhere between 42 and 48 damage with Erdrick's armor. With the best armor in the game.
It takes 3 regular attacks to take him down if the hurt more doesn't go through, but that will be another level for HighSpirits at least.
2 power, 5 response speed, 9 hit points.
Nothing too fancy on the stat gains there, but a little bit extra helps. And with that HP gain, that definitely puts him in the range of Death Necklace use without having to worry about it too much.
On the same token, at this point, he's got 150 attack power. So using the Death Necklace to put it up to 160, then you'd be looking at a range of 15 to 30 on Dragonlord 2.
The key thing to still remember here is we haven't seen Dragonlord 2, so we don't know if he has sleep or if he has heal. Also, not knowing what his stop spell resistance may be. Imagine we will see a stop spell thrown out at him prior to the fight actually beginning, just to see if it works or not. If it doesn't, then the possibility of just fighting through the heal and sleep with having that extra attack power could definitely be a very real thing.
Yes, I keep teasing and alluding to it, but as far as the Dragon Lord, the second form of it, in the vanilla version of the game, it usually has 130 hit points. In the standard Dragon Warrior Randomizer, it has anywhere from 150 to 165. Here in Chaos Mode, it can have anywhere as low as 100 hit points and as high as 230. And as Ryu had alluded to, it can cast either the spell of Sleep or the spell of Heal. So imagine getting slept and wrecked by that Dragon Lord breath time and time again, or wailing away at it and all of a sudden, oh, wow, there it is casting Heal somewhere the way through. So there's a couple of surprises along the way in terms of that. Plus, because of those spells, the stop spell resistance, which normally is 15 out of 16, that is also randomized.
And we have Datyedyeguy making his way into Sharlock at about 111.35. So we now have both of our runners in Sharlock, with Datyedyeguy on floor 1 and HighSpirits on the final floor.
Now, also something that you'll see here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer is not in the standard version. In this brick pathway that you'll see leading into the Dragon Lord, there is an automatically generated battle, a mini boss or guardian, whatever you want to refer to it. It's the slot that normally would be programmed in the guardian space where the golem would be around Cantlin. But for this, it had to get put somewhere. So, nice little mini boss here, and we'll see what that is in just a matter of moments. And it is a skeleton.
We have a true guardian here, unlike the scorpion we saw in Hawksness, which was breathing Dragonlord breath as well, but quick to run away.
And chat pretty much saying what we're all thinking. Why not? Why wouldn't it be? And of course, and other things of that nature.
And that is going to put HighSpirits at only 8 heal mores. I imagine he'll eat the rest of his herbs before taking on the Dragonlord.
Well, we also don't know what Dragonlord 1 brings to the fray. We're just kind of ignoring that. We have seen in seeds throughout this tournament, Dragonlords have close to maximum strength and being able to hit even at these high levels and high defense for anywhere from 60, 70, even 81 hit points, I think I saw on one occasion.
Oh yeah, we've definitely seen Dragonlord 1 even be worse than Dragonlord 2, having hits dealing 50 to 60, having Dragon Lord breath, and being able to put you to sleep while he's at it, and then having a little over 100 HP as well.
So HighSpirits is going to get the offer from the Dragon Lord for half the world, is going to decline it, be called a fool, and let's see what we've got. Ooh, high defense as it only takes 13 hit points. And it has baby breath, so only doing damage in the teens, not too shabby, and there's a Hurt More spell that's going to take it out. And let's see what Dragon Lord 2 brings to the table today. Well, it gets hit for 20 right off the bat. And it is spamming the fire. Up
and
to 33.
HighSpirits foregoing putting on the death necklace here. Perhaps he's just taking this as a informational fight, doesn't want to use it, or just didn't want to use it at all and have the chance of double hits be possible as well.
Or maybe he knew with the low resources, all right, I'm going to poke at it here. If it happens to have low hit points and I happen to eke out a win, great. If not, well, we'll regroup and try again, as it's already quickly up to 80 hit points of damage. We've seen already a couple of 20s make that another one, so he's up to 100. So the next swipe could be the last one.
And he does get a double hit there.
Or really any, as he is now down to just 2 more heal mores. Up to 113 of damage, now make it 129. Using another heal more. And another 18, and he's going to do it from there. 147 is going to take it, and HighSpirits is going to advance to the Chaos Tournament Championship to take on Tristal. Well, the experiment paid off, and HighSpirits is going to advance. Ladies and gentlemen, get out your GGs for HighSpirits, who is going to advance to the finals with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 2 seconds. The Datyedyeguy certainly putting in a great effort as well, and he is on the penultimate basement in Sharlock, and here at level 20 certainly could have a good chance of taking it out here and keeping this thing really doggone close. But ultimately, HighSpirits with that gamble, despite these skeletons, which I'm sure HighSpirits is going to have a few unsavory words in description of in our post-race chat here, he is able to get the victory and is going to move on to take on Tristal, who is giving a bit of a spoiler in noting that the finals won't be until next week, which we have noted here. And to answer JRM 5035's question in chat, this is not the quickest seed in the tourney by any means. That actually went to one of the other tournament, I believe it was the quarter. Well, I was going to say, Ryu, you might be able to talk a little bit about this here, as it was your race with Angry Larry in the quarterfinals. Angry Larry finishing with a time of 50 minutes and 12 seconds, and you not too shabbily getting a sub-hour as well with a 58:18. That was the fastest seed in this tournament and the second fastest in Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament history.
Yeah, that was definitely a great run for Larry there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to take it to the finals, but still did have a great showing during this tournament. And as you did mention, HighSpirits expressing his displeasure on those skeletons just a little bit. And I believe we are joined by him.
Worst crash I've ever seen. Hi, by the way.
Oh, hi there, HighSpirits. Congratulations in GG, and I'm sorry, let me let you get back to your rant on the skeletons.
Okay, rant. Oh wow. Let's. The monster had now 75% Dragon Lord breath. It had 100 health, probably 25% evasion, and extreme immunity to stop spells, sleep and hurt more. So, and they were everywhere, so that kind of sucked.
And they were also the boss before the Dragon Lord as well, just as a final,
Thankfully, he didn't need much magic to beat the Dragon Lord, because he only had like 140 or so health.
Yeah, somewhere between 130 and 147, since your last attack for 18 put it up from 129 to 147. So somewhere in the 130s or mid 140s, a little below even the standard Dragon Warrior randomizer number.
Yeah, I see the tie-dye guy's having just as much fun with the skeletons as me. And he's about to find a Dragon Lord here with insanely high agility also. Thankfully, he got hit by Hurtmore.
Yeah, so as long as he does the same here, it ideally, I mean, it should be less than a 10-minute finish between the two of you. At least I certainly hope so. And if I somehow brought the curse upon things here, I apologize in advance to Tie-Dye Guy when you go back to watch the restream of this. And yes, call me Chalk. HighSpirits he's chatting with us here in the post-race. He has won. He finished up a little less than 4 minutes ago, and he will advance to the finals to take on Tristal. The battle of the 6 seed and the 9 seed, just as I'm sure most people drew it up in their brackets when this tournament started.
Exactly. That's how you're supposed to write it up, right?
Yeah, so,
almost as busted as the basketball tournament of similar ilk.
Oh no, Loyola's coming after me. Help.
Oh, goodness.
So out of curiosity, as we see the Tie-Dye Guy did not choose to don the Death Necklace either, what were your thoughts on possibly using that as to why you didn't?
108 strength? I didn't even think about it. I was actually, what my thought was, I was thinking about selling the Death Necklace to buy the Silver Shield, but then I just kept getting so much money before I got the armor that I decided, I'll just keep it. But 108 strength is the reason why I didn't even think about equipping it.
Yeah, we figured even after that last level up to 21, that actually added 2 more, so you're up to 110 strength with there to extort 150 attack power. And we thought, all right, if you're going to hit for 12 to 25 per strike, although most
Apparently
of yours were in the upper teens.
Yeah, apparently I hit for 13 and 14 plenty, so, good damage rolls.
Yeah, they were on the low side too. Go figure. As the Tie-Dye Guy is finishing up, and he just took out the Dragon Lord. He's going to head back to the castle and finish about 5.5 minutes behind here. I'll get the official SRL time in just a moment here. Actually, not too far off. He's going to finish trailing by 5 minutes and 32 seconds with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 34 seconds.
Yeah, he barely pulled that off, and we had to burn 70 magic just to get to the Dragon Lord. Wow, those skeletons. Ugh.
Yeah, he did finish that Dragon Lord 2 fight with his last possible attack.
But still pretty impressive, as this is the Tie-Dye Guy's first ever speedrun or randomizer tournament, and for a first-timer, a little, I guess, beginner's luck to get all the way to the semifinals. Not too shabby, and I believe he'll have a chance to possibly go for the bronze here, as I believe I'll talk to the officials who handle this sort of thing, but I believe there'll be a third-place race where it'll be himself against Angry Larry.
And the Tie-Dye Guy also expressing his displeasure for those skeletons, so yeah, lots of hate for those skeletons abound.
Yeah, for the most part, it's kind of a strange seed, because when it started out, it seemed like everything had too much health to kill. And then, as the seed went on, all the new monsters we found had no health, so they were all dying to one hit. So it was kind of strange how it just changed, halfway through the race. And I think someone put Big Swamp Mode on.
I was about to say, speaking of the start, how did you feel about that semi-big swamp there?
Thankfully, we had a nice big desert to fight in, so it wasn't that bad. It just, and levels were coming so fast. We were level 20 at 4,000 experience, so, levels, it helped because it wasn't a while until we found monsters that actually gave experience, but for the most part, it was, the swamp wasn't a big issue. It was just, dealing with the, low experience point, fast level ups that way. That was the issue. And then finding everything, because it took a while to find everything.
Yeah, everything was pretty well spread out. Thankfully, y'all did get heal rather early on, so it did make the ability to trek through the swamp not such a big deal anymore with having heal.
And we are joined in Discord by Datyedyeguy, GG. Not too shabby, as I noted here, for a first time tournament run. Going to fall here in the semifinals, but still a chance to take third place in the third place matchup coming up sometime next week.
Yeah, good game, man. Good run, HighSpirits.
GG.
That was a seed.
Just the skeletons. Everything else was pretty much nice, but the skeletons. Oh my goodness.
Man, they were so mean.
Yeah, I think we both got to the Dragon Lord with just about the same magic. I had a little bit more, so I was able to hurt more of the Dragon Lord one and get out of that fight fast.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was afraid of doing that. I was thinking I would need all the health and stuff I could get there at the end.
Yeah, you did, because you had 4 magic left.
Yeah.
Yeah, no surprises from sleep or heal, at least this seed. That was a good thing. Kind of giving a quick overview. So as far as the first enemy kill, that went to Datyedyeguy about a minute 50 in. HighSpirits was a little less than 4 minutes later, about the 5:43 mark. Pretty back and forth in terms of levels. Datyedyeguy kind of getting that early leveling lead, but the differential came in when HighSpirits, you had found Cantlin and were able to, or actually not even before that, before you had found Cantlin, you had found Breckenary pretty early on at about the 8-minute mark, and were able to get that hand axe and full plate a little bit sooner, maybe actually I think about maybe 10 minutes sooner than Datyedyeguy did. So you were able to start racking up the levels considerably easier. You were able to one-shot a lot of those enemies. I remember one particular fight where you were able to take on a Droll Magi and I think two-shot it, whereas Datyedyeguy was going for an essential slap fight for a little while to take that one down. And then you had overtaken the experienced lead, HighSpirits, right around the 31-minute mark is when you had gone to level 15, and that was about a minute or so ahead of the Datyedyeguy. And you kept on leveling, and the Datyedyeguy started to get the. I think that was where there was a little bit of trouble in the mid game, as it was not for another 20 minutes or so before the Datyedyeguy went up from level 15 to getting 16 and 17 at the same time. As far as exploration, pretty similar early on. It wasn't until with that early advantage or mid-game advantage that HighSpirits had that you were able to find the mountain cave that seemed to have the plethora of things, the silver harp and the stones of sunlight. And once those were bunched together, it was pretty much go mode from there. But as you were doing that, HighSpirits, the Datyedyeguy was gathering the armor, but with all those other items gotten, the armor was acquired by HighSpirits about 7 minutes after the Datyedyeguy did.
Yeah, I have this strange tendency to fall way behind in experience in every seed that I do. I guess maybe I have a different approach to things that seems to work for me at least. But yeah, it seems like every race I've been in, I've been behind on experience. It's right from the beginning for at least half the match.
Well, I got lucky. I crit my first knight I ran into. And I was like, oh no.
Well, what I did is I got the money. So the first thing I said is, okay, I'm going to check every direction real quick to see if there's a town within range. And apparently I missed Breckenary in my first search. Just outside of my range. But because I hate to be that guy's like, okay, I have this money. Nope, didn't find anything. Fight a bunch, lose all the money, and then take 3 steps in a direction I never went. And bam, there's a shop. But yep. So once I did that, then I started grinding, and it only took me a couple of fights to find a knight, and I dispatched him pretty easily.
Nice. Yeah, I totally missed Breckenary there at the beginning. I dove straight down, and yeah, ran into a bunch of swamp.
And I think the first things that you found were the Rainbow Drop Cave and I want to say Hawksness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice of that scorpion to run away as early as it did. Because I think I tried fighting it the moment I got heal more, which was 8, 9, 10 range, and it Dragon Lord breathed me and then ran away. So
nice. Yeah, it ran away from me initially, and I was like, I wonder if I can grind on this guy. And then he ended up Dragon Lord and breath and made it down. But Got the item at least.
I think he slept you and Dragon Lord breathed you, if I remember right.
Oh, maybe that was it. The old Wombo. Yeah.
Oh, it had sleep. I never saw that. I only ever fought it like that one time. Every other time, I just ran away easily.
Yeah, that kind of threw us all for a loop. It was like, oh, it has sleep also. There's a surprise. So yeah, nobody ended up taking it out. More than understandable. Not a lot of enemies with generous experience.
Just
in the early part of the
skeletons.
game, the skeletons.
and
Yeah, we
wizards.
found out late had 227, but apart from that, it was pretty much the Wolf Lords and Knights early on. Eventually, the Wizards were found to be pretty good with 199, and Wraiths were kind of troublesome, giving you 193. But for the most part, everything else was double digits or maybe very low triple digits.
There's lots of money though. There was money everywhere. Like I got enough for a silver shield just trying to find the stones and armor and silver harp.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I had a couple sloppy deaths, so I ended up gold grinding in Garenham with the 2 gold chests and the magic key in there to get my silver shield.
I never saw a large shield at all.
Nope.
The only
Yeah,
shop I didn't check was the locked one in Cantlin, but I checked every other shop. I didn't see a silver or large shield anywhere.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I was actually kind of curious after you had seen those 2 gold chests and the magic key, if you were going to go ahead and take the gold grind, since you weren't that far away at that point from the silver shield. It would only taken a couple of trips in, and you would have had it.
Yeah, I had the thought that by the time I find everything, I'm probably going to have enough money just because everything drops 150, 200. So that's why I didn't gold grind.
Yeah, I already had a couple sloppy deaths by that point, so I was like, oh, I got to do something to try and catch up, and so that's why I went and did that for a minute or two. Good race though. That was a solid seed. Lots of exploration, lots of running around.
Lots of swamp.
Yeah, I was wondering if we rolled big swamp on that or not.
But yeah, good race, man. Thank you.
Y'all weren't
We
the
weren't
only
too sure either. We thought that maybe there was a gentleman's agreement that we were unaware of, but since it wasn't in the flags, we were like, okay, maybe it's just all conglomerated at the start.
I actually had to go double check the flags. Like, okay, is the big swamp flag? No, the big swamp flag's not in there. Well, swamp it is.
I know there were, I guess, half-hearted discussions about it, perhaps in jest, and I was like, oh, maybe they did go through with Big Swamp. Okay, what a twist. But no, it just happened to be very swampy around the start.
And a little ways away from the start, too.
And a little way
Yeah.
too. Now, HighSpirits, so you're advancing on. You're going to be taking on Tristal. Any thoughts of that match coming up?
Got to beat him here because I know he'll crush me if I face him in the Final Fantasy tournament. I mean, of course, he's one of the best. I mean, he's always at the end in every tournament. So we'll see how Chaos treats us.
Yeah, the Triss luck. I mean, this is somebody who has finished in the top 4 of last year's Dragon Warrior Randomizer standard tournament, and well, he's guaranteed a top 4 here as well, or actually a top 2 in this case. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes as the Triss luck continues, kind of coming from out of nowhere as the 9 seed, maybe perhaps a little lower than anticipated based on the way things had played out, maybe a little underseeded, but nonetheless, he has proven all the doubters and doubters wrong, and now he's back here in the finals, and should be a fantastic race coming up sometime next week.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, same here.
I believe that's going to just about wrap things up from here. Make sure to give our runners a follow. They've been fantastic here tonight, Datyedyeguy and HighSpirits. Also, want to thank behind the scenes here. We've got our restreamer, which would be none other than Deathstar175, as well as our tracker, OPT Lawyer. And Reusation, my co-commentator here, any final thoughts?
No, I just want to say, good race, you two, and I look forward to seeing what happens with HighSpirits and Tristal in the finals. We're going to have a lovely, short of an hour seed, or are we going to see another one of those nasty 2-3 hour seeds?
or something in between. Time will certainly tell. Well, for everybody behind the scenes, I want to thank you for tuning in here to Randomania. For Reasation, OPT Lawyer, Death Star 175, and as well as our runners, Datyedyeguy and HighSpirits. I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. We're now going to take you over to Fearwolf. We're going to give him a host who's running Zelda 2 Randomizer. Good night, everyone.